Hello, Dylan. Here is your sewer scope from this morning's inspection. That's me in the basement, just kind of showing you around, letting you know that I'm actually in the basement in question. There's the main sewer stack. We drop into ABS pipe. This is probably an add-on after a renovation in the house, would be my guess. And then we switch to the pipe that was original to the house, cast iron. We're probably close to the foundation wall at this point and headed out into the front yard. Right here at about 9 feet, we switch over to PVC. It's going to change back to cast iron. My guess is that this is a replacement section that was put in at some point. There was probably damage in the pipe. Just speculation, but there wouldn't be really any reason if, this was the one. Potentially PVC could have been used back when the house was built. Not likely, but it's possible. But to go from cast iron to PVC and then back to cast iron doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. So the logical conclusion is that this is a replacement section. Coming up here and just right about here, you can see that we're holding water. Notice how level and still the water is. It's not moving. So either something's blocking it, and we switch back to cast iron at that point. Either something's blocking or holding up the water, damming it, which is always possible in cast iron, or there's not enough pitch to the pipe, which, again, if this is the original section of pipe, it would be a little odd that it wasn't pitched properly. Typically that doesn't happen. There's some toilet paper. That could be the culprit. I do run a little bit of water here just to try to kind of flush things away. And then on the return journey, you'll see that there is somewhat of a flow going through the pipe at that point. Whether it's enough to drain everything out, I can't say. But we'll talk about potential next steps. I think the big takeaway is I don't see any obvious damage. Obviously, there's some of the pipe is obscured because of water and paper products, but for the most part, I think the pipe is structurally sound. Whether or not functional drainage is to the level where you would want it, I can't say. But let's get a little further on down the road here, and we'll talk a little bit more about potential next steps. The other thing to factor in is there's maybe, I would say at most 3/4 of an inch of water right there, maybe less. The camera head that I use is a little over 2.5 inches in full diameter. The lens itself is smaller than that. So it's not like at this point we're underwater. We'll get that way here in a minute. There's the city connection, but we'll see a little bit of water flow on the way back. Hang in there for just a second. I'm getting some disinfectant wipes and paper towels to clean off the camera cable as I pull it back. All right, so again, we'll see here in just a moment that there's a fairly decent amount of functional flow going through the pipe. Yeah, so there you can see the water's moving. Chunks of paper are exiting the scene. That's not bad. I mean, I've seen situations where there is kind of a big damming effect because of toilet paper. Once you punch through that, it really kind of rushes out of the pipe. I wouldn't categorize this as rushing out of the pipe, but there is definite good flow going right here. So what I'll recommend in the written report is, potentially have the pipe cleaned. Cast iron is coarse and it gets more scaled the older it gets. having the pipe cleaned may just be the solution to the problem. Once the pipe is cleaned, cleared, cabled, whatever you want to call it, I would re-video the line and just look at the pipe and see if it's holding water. So read through the written report. Shoot back to me with any questions, or if you need any help with next steps. I'm always happy to be a resource if I can help.